Retroid Pocket 3 Review. Android-based gaming handhelds can be impressive, but setting them up can be challenging. For instance, both the Retroid Pocket 2, which is 2 years old, as well as the newly released Logitech G Cloud, let you play classic games on high-quality hardware, but require some tinkering with emulators first. Unlike the Anbernic, the Retroid Pocket 3 makes loading and organizing game ROMs much simpler, although there will still be some necessary modifications to the emulators. Still, it's a remarkable device offering a large display screen, a potent processor, and a sturdy feel, definitely worth its price tag. It is easy to mix up the Retroid Pocket 3 with a Switch Lite. Both share similar outlines and patterns, featuring rounded corners, side-by-side dual analog sticks, dual triggers, and labels for ABXY that are positioned in a way that is reminiscent of Nintendo. It is smaller though, 7.2 inches wide compared to the Switch Lite's 8.2 inches, and it possesses a 4.7-inch screen compared with the 5.5-inch screen of its equivalent. To add, there isn't any home power plus/minus buttons on the face side, as opposed to those that are placed on top where you can see power, select, and start buttons. There's a home button found at the right edge while the volume rocker is situated at the left edge. Although button placement isn't an issue altogether, start and select buttons feel out of reach when playing games that need periodic navigation of menus by pressing them. On the Retroid Pocket 3, a micro HDMI port can be found along the top edge, while the bottom edge has a micro SD card slot, USB-C port, and 3.5mm headphone jack. The handheld device comes equipped with 32 GB of internal storage, although additional memory can be added using an affordable 64 GB or 128 GB card. The 4.7-inch LCD has a higher resolution than the Switch and Switch Lite at 1334 by 750, resulting in a clearer image due to its smaller size. Unlike the Retroid Pocket 2, the Retroid Pocket 3 comes with a touchscreen that makes navigating its Android 11-based system much easier. Thanks to this touchscreen, you can just swipe and tap like usual using an Android launcher, instead of using directional controls or having to use an analog stick to operate a mouse cursor. You should be able to get 5 or 6 hours of use out of the Retroid Pocket 3's 4000 mAh battery. The exact amount you get will vary depending on the type of games you play and the brightness of your screen. You won't need to open the Android launcher quite often, because Retroid provides a helpful front end that helps you catalog favorite apps and games on menus with sizable tiles that avail themselves of quick selection using physical control keys. You still need some effort to configure your emulators and the directory of ROMs for successful functioning. It's easier than it was in Retroid Pocket 2 though. You'll need to know how to traverse around configuring menus, but this version of it is more reasonably organized. It might not feel as uncomplicated as transferring from files into Anbernic RG351. However, Linux platforms allow for more flexibility and customizing over Android ones. Unfortunately, if you expected a cache of ROMs on a detached partition, it isn't there. Although that's no big loss, seeing as many of the ROMs were in Chinese for the Retroid Pocket 2, and its own distinct OS was a bit tedious. However, those who didn't want to explore an unnatural cave to find what they were looking for can be pleased to hear that nothing unjust is on the portable device. It has come scrupulously clean with only the Retroid Pocket interface pre-installed. This necessitates that you must add your own ROMs, but it's generally more secure than relying on a bunch of dumps from an anonymous SD card already inside your device. The Retroid Pocket front end is broken up into 2 key screens, apps and emulation. The apps screen allows you to organize any apps in the system on a straightforward menu. The emulation page displays whatever emulators you desire in a neat row similar to the Nintendo Switch design. For each system, it will immediately start to play your game collection, which can be viewed as an uncluttered list or using the box art for every game automatically pulled from online databases. When you properly configure each emulator, this handheld becomes almost as simple to operate as the RG351. The emulators come preloaded on the device, enabling it to work with numerous different systems. However, this system might be overly positive when referring to the Cortex-A75 CPU and PowerVR GPU. It is possible to upload disk images from PlayStation 2 or GameCube and run them through Dolphin for handheld or Ethers 2 emulators. but our trials showed that F-Zero GX runs at an average of just 5 frames per second. If you hope for Dolphin to perform smoothly, you should opt instead for the G Cloud.